Hello, and welcome to Guide from Inside. My name's Shauna Hogue. I am a personal trainer and I've been in health and wellness for over 17 years now. My goal is to bring health and wellness tips to you, little things that you can do to integrate into your everyday life to yield big results. Now, I have not been consistent. I preach consistency with everyone I work with, and I have not recorded an episode of this podcast in almost 2 months. A lot of it had to do with the fact that I impulsively recorded the first episode and I just put it up. I was like so proud that I even figured it out. But um, now I just want to have a little more direction. And as with one of my favorite podcasts is with Layla Hormozi. And I love how much really great information she squeezes into a small amount of time. It's like boom, bam, boom, quick, in and out. So that is what I want to focus on today. A lot of the things that I talk about, I really want everybody to know that they're free. I'm not a doctor or a therapist, so there's your disclaimer. But these are all things that you can do, and hopefully they will yield really huge benefits for you in the long run. Now, it is hard to do anything consistency. Like consistently, it's hard to get up and go to work. It's hard to work out. All of these things it takes a little more than just motivation, and motivation is not always available to you, depending upon you know so many factors: your state of mind, your sleep. You name it. We can always find an excuse to get out of doing something that we really don't want to do. But we all know the rent is due, and the same goes for our health. Uh, you got to pay the bills. And I always say, you got to work out, you got to move your body, you got to eat well. It's like money in the bank. It's assurance that you are putting something in that is going to benefit your health overall later. Now, these can be little things, and I've spoken about them numerous times. If you've seen any of my posts on YouTube, it can be as simple as just waking up, getting morning sun, and stretching. Can be like a huge impact on your day. It starts you off. It gets all of your hormones going. It will help with your serotonin. It will help you with your melatonin. So that is one small thing that you can do every day. Just get up and get some morning sun. Other things that help: fiber in your diet. Pretty easy. You can get that with vegetables. You don't have to drink the nasty like mix, Metamucil. You can integrate things like berries. So many foods have tons of fiber in them. And you can also go for a walk after you have a meal. You can do 10 squats. Things like that will help with your digestion, helps with your gut health, and can also help to lower your insulin levels if you do this consistently. So that's another suggestion. One thing also that I speak about at nauseum is just your night hygiene. So if you just commit to taking your phone, shutting it off, and putting it away 1 hour before you go to bed, that will reduce the amount of blue light exposure that you're getting into your retina, into your brain. That's going to tell you, hey, it's a party, we're going to stay awake. So that is not the message you want to be sending to your brain when it's time for you to go to bed. So please put the phone away, shut the iPad, turn the TV off. 3 little suggestions. So what are you going to do? The whole purpose of this today, what I'm discussing, is I want you to go just through the flow of your day, and I want you to pick one thing that you believe you could be consistent with, right? Because there are certain things that you would never disappoint someone if you made a promise to them. And I think the best way that we can be consistent in things such as this is to really make a promise to ourselves that we know we can keep. And learning how to keep that promise will improve your trust within yourself. Like your children, you're not going to disappoint your children if you tell your kids, we're going to go to the park and we're going to throw the ball. Then they're expecting you to do that, right? And you're not going to disappoint them if they have to go to ballet class. You're going to take your child to ballet class. You need to hold yourself to that same standard. You need to be able to keep that promise to yourself. So the first step is to really, not let yourself down. Don't disappoint yourself. You want to create that trust within yourself so that you know you're going to be able to keep the promise and follow through on what you said. And so, just to give you some examples very quickly, one small change. One small change is all you need to yield really big results and get major progress in one area of your life. I've had one client, super busy, very, very successful, and in her career, and very busy with children. We all have daily responsibilities. And just 3 months ago, she made a commitment. She called, set up an appointment, made sure, she's like, no matter what craziness I have going on in my life, no matter what's going on at my job, no matter what's going on in my household, I am going to make it every Tuesday and every Friday. And guess what? After 3 months, we've gone like down 10% body fat, which I don't necessarily always love to focus on weight and those numerics, but dropping 10% body fat is a huge deal. And that was not by tracking macros. That was not by doing a ton of cardio. For heaven's sakes, I know she's not even sleeping. So this is just by being consistent and showing up to the gym 2 times a week for an hour workout. Nothing else. So that is one area of your life that if you can commit to it, you don't have to go into a gym. You don't have to have a personal trainer. It helps, but all of these things, if you can commit to moving your body, and if you like lifting weights, whatever you like doing, you're going to be more consistent doing. So if it's something that you love, extra points. And the main thing is write it down, whatever promise that is. And because we sign a contract, and that's why we sign contracts with our clients. Write it down, sign it if you want, and put it in a safe place and know, like 3 months from now, if you commit to yourself and you show up on the days that you say you're going to show up, whether or not you feel like it, whether or not you've had any sleep, whether or not you're in a good mood and you feel like doing it, those are the days that are most important for you, that you follow through, and then you can trust yourself afterwards. So one other thing, I'm going to discuss a couple more points, things that you can do also to really integrate and make big changes. So you can cut out one thing, just cut out one thing. I've had people cut out just alcohol. I had a gentleman, and I'm not a young person, doesn't work out a whole lot, but he just cut out alcohol for a few months and lost over 30 pounds. Better health, better fitness, and it's amazing to me how you can cut out one thing, and that is such a huge deal. Because, a lot of people, with the culture, it's acceptable to have a cocktail or a glass of wine or a drink with every meal. And I'm sure it's nice. I'm sure it's relaxing. Who doesn't love an ice cold beer when it's like this hot today? I feel like I'm melting. But if you feel like there's one thing that you can cut out, just commit to, like, I'm going to go 90 days without this one thing. And by doing that, you can really make huge progress. So the last thing I would say, and with anything to do with health and fitness, your nutrition, of course, is always going to play a major factor. I point out the fact that even if you exercise every single day of the week, if you exercise twice a week, even if you exercise morning and night, that would be 14 workouts in a week. And if you compare that to how many meals you have in a week, how many snacks do you have? And people eat at least 3 meals a day, and that's not counting the snacking in between. So you figure 35 plus meals in a week compared to however many times you work out. And I point this out because I always ask clients, what do you think is going to have the greatest impact? when it comes to you reaching your health and fitness goals. And it's always nutrition. It will always be nutrition. So that is something that one of my clients really focused on for 1 week. We did it for 1 week. I said, look, you got to dial this in, stick to what if you're a vegetarian, eat some vegetables, get some protein wherever you can. If that's, like tempeh or seitan, fill half of your plate with vegetables. And then after you have a meal, just go for a walk. And within a week, down 5 pounds. She dropped 5 pounds. So and it was one thing. It was just one thing, sticking to what you say you're going to do. You agree to it, you keep yourself accountable, and stay consistent with that. And really, that's key. If you can choose one thing, and I want you to think about it, think about the time you wake up, the flow of your day, and I want you to think about the easiest thing, the thing that will require the least amount of effort. And that is the thing I want you to start with when you want to try to change habits and you want to integrate something that's going to help you reach your fitness goals, whether it's putting on more muscle, losing some weight, getting healthier, whatever that might be. So just focus on that one thing and don't forget to keep your promise to yourself. You need to trust yourself. You wouldn't disappoint anyone else, so don't disappoint yourself. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you. And if you have any questions about what we discussed today, the podcast, or anything else, you can check out my social media and leave your comment in the comment section. Thanks again. And until next time, see ya.